Somebody is probably laughing at the TV set saying, oh, they'll never catch us. They'll never catch us. We will catch them.
And they did, in fact, catch them. The manhunt for 4 escaped Bibb County Jail inmates lasted a little over a month. 1 year later, we're still learning more about the escapees and the group of people accused of helping them break out. Anthony Montalto explains what investigators say about that network and where those cases stand in a special 13 Investigates.
Investigators found that blue Dodge Challenger.
Sometimes the day rooms are not locked.
The report shows he did not check it out until about 5 a.m., 10 hours from when he clocked in.
That extra one factor.
Pieces of a puzzle that set 4 Bibb County inmates free last year.
These are the 4 inmates as they were escaping. Chavis Stokes, Mark Anderson, Jonathan Barnwell, and Joey Fournier.
But as experts told us at the time,
going where their network could support them.
They had help. 6 other people, each accused of having a part. And it didn't start October 16th when the inmates jumped through a second-floor window and ran out a hole in the fence. It started 3 days earlier with a trip to Home Depot. Janicia Green bought a hammer and chisel and got those to Christian Williams.
He is a person that we feel has knowledge of where they might be.
He'd been missing for months, allegedly kidnapped hours before he was set to stand trial for murder. But a week after the break, as deputies got to Williams, he shot himself and died. While deputies couldn't get any answers from Williams, Green's guilty plea in federal court gives us a few. Court documents show Williams arranged to get the escape tools inside the jail.
We believe that Jacqueline had brought some contraband items to the jail prior to the escape in that Dodge Challenger.
We don't know if Jacqueline Williams brought those tools to the jail, but he is charged with aiding the escape and stealing the Challenger. Now he's in the Jones County Jail charged with aggravated assaults not related to the escape.
Christian Williams led us to Micaiah Williams.
We don't know too much about her role, just that deputies believe she dated Christian Williams. She's also charged with aiding or permitting and has been out on a $15,000 bond since May. Jacorsha Smith has that same charge and got out on bond in December. And remember Janicia Green? Davis believes she worked with Smith after the escape.
Miss Green and Miss Smith were basically swapping cars while they were going to visit Mr. Barnwell over near Augusta.
So that's a lot of people charged with aiding and permitting. Former Fulton County Assistant DA Daryl Cohen says aiding is the key word and likely means the suspects knew about the jailbreak ahead of time.
A lot of people think of it as a conspiracy.
Now, Tymisha Timley has an interesting story too. She allegedly helped Mark Anderson hide in a Buckhead high-rise. They caught him when Timley placed a DoorDash order, not knowing investigators were tracking her phone.
When they were going in the front door, Mark Anderson texts back to Miss Timley, "Police at the door, baby. I'm going back to jail."
She has an aiding and abetting charge, plus hindering the apprehension of a criminal.
Hindering is, I know it already happened. I'm going to do everything I can to save them, to keep them out of jail.
Timley's been out of jail since November on a $55,000 bond, and as for the inmates, they've been incarcerated since being recaptured. In Macon, Anthony Montalto, 13 WMAZ News.
And now here is where the escapees' cases currently stand. Chavis Stokes pleaded guilty in February to the escape and could spend 45 years in prison. That includes charges for drug trafficking and aggravated assault. He's still in the Bibb County Jail. The aggravated assault charges that landed Mark Anderson in jail were dropped, but he pleaded guilty to the escape for 5 years in prison and to terroristic threats. He's at the state prison in Jackson and could be there until 2036. Jonathan Barnwell was in the Bibb jail waiting to be sentenced on federal drug charges. He pleaded guilty to the escape in July. He hasn't been sentenced, but faces a 5-year penalty for the escape. And Joey Fournier was found guilty in April of murdering his ex-girlfriend, Cynthia Berry. He was sentenced to life in prison, but has asked for a new trial. The escape charges are still pending. Fournier is also at the state prison in Jackson. After the escape, there were a host of measures talked about to ensure better safety and security.
We seen no actual change in the conditions. Like, that's what we've been doing. It's a terrible place. We all agree.
Tomorrow night at 11, 1 year since the escape, we sit down with Commissioner Virgil Watkins to hear his thoughts about how commissioners and law enforcement could handle problems inside the jail going forward and how to plan for a new jail.